45, episode 145 of the 612 Club. And aujourd'hui, we're going to talk about the importance of focusing on the input, not the output. If you're on the Facebook and you can see my face, does it look all red? It looks all red like in the camera. I've been on my bike because the snow is terrible, so I went in on my bike, and it's absolutely freezing, and I don't know, that's the helmet thing or what. Anyway, looks vaguely ridiculous to me, but this will also go on the podcast tomorrow, and building the app as well, which is extremely exciting. For me, it is anyway. So, yeah, the point of the today's sermon is to focus on the input, not the output, and this is because I'm currently working on a business or a package where I will provide the marketing for doctors, provide the automated marketing sequence for doctors. M4D is called, marketing for doctors, and we will run the automation for doctors in private practice because I'm such a big fan of automation. And I was approached or emailed by someone who this thing called Pioneer app. It's not an app, Pioneer.app, for startups. And you have to enter a tournament, and if you come up high in the tournament, then you get $20,000 of funding and go to Silicon Valley and things like that. So the point is, the tournament is based on you writing down what your goals are and how you're going to achieve them. And every week people vote on who's done the best at achieving their goals. So you vote on each other. But I was reading the spiel about making goals and how to be successful with this, and it was saying to focus on the input, not the output. And I thought, that's an interesting point. I get that. And what that means is you should say what you're going to do is, I'm going to send a text to everyone who's been to the clinic in the last 3 months, or I'm going to write an email, or I'm going to do a video introduction for send out to people when they book, or I'm going to start a podcast, or things that you are going to do. I'm going to think about a sequence we can do where we can look after people when they book for surgery. It's a bit willy-nilly, they don't get contacted by the hospital. How can I make that better? I am going to make a sequence, and I'm going to write an email, and we're going to have terms and conditions that we send out to people, and I'll send an email when they book to say, look, this is what happens next. These are all things I'm going to do. These are all sequences, these are all campaigns and things that I can do, and those are realistic goals. You shouldn't make your goal, and because they're things you can control, you shouldn't make your goals things you can't control, like I'm going to make £5,000 a month, or 10, whatever, or I'm going to see 5 new patients a month, or I'm going to do this many procedures, or my conversion rate from consultation to surgery is going to be higher. These really, I'm not saying they shouldn't be looked at, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be measured, because I often talk about the 5 C's or the 6 C's, and that is important to look at these figures and look at these numbers and look how people are moving through your practice. But what I'm saying is that they shouldn't really be goals, because they're not very realistic goals. Maybe not realistic is the wrong word, but a bit like what I was saying last week about what you should pray for. You should pray for something specific, and ideally something that you can do. I hope, please let me contact the last 50 people who came to my clinic and encourage them to come back or have a procedure, rather than please let more people come to my clinic. So and if you get more granular, so if you say, if your goal was, well, hold on a minute, I do want more people to come to my clinic, I do want more money, I do want to increase my consultation to surgery ratios, well, that's fine to say that, But when you start going back you can get back to something that you can do. So okay, you want to do all those things, increase your money and increase people having procedures and your conversion rate. So how can you do that? Well, maybe you can get in touch with people once they've had why are you seeing people in clinic and they're not having procedures? Well, what is the block? And you'll find that some people haven't received the quote is for self-pay patients. Maybe some people just got busy and they haven't got round to it. Maybe they tried to book an appointment for the procedure, it wasn't suitable and it just got lost. That's certainly happened to me personally when I've tried to book procedures for things and they just got lost, and and then the person's busy, they don't get round to booking it again. So what is there a group of people, and you'll probably find there will be a group of people sitting there who might be suitable for a procedure but aren't having it for these reasons. Now obviously there's going to be some who are not suitable, or you're too expensive and they've gone to Turkey, or they didn't like you because you were rude or whatever. Fine, that's absolutely fine, but don't assume they're all like that. And so if you do want to make more money and have more people in your clinic, in your for procedures, I would suggest that you need to think about increasing that number by doing something yourself. And what that would be is maybe sending a text to everyone who's been to clinic who hasn't had a procedure, saying hi. And I say everyone, there might be 5,000 of them. Okay, we'll just send one then. Just send one. Just say, look, this next week I'm going to say 10. Hi, Sandra, I saw you in clinic a couple of weeks ago and just checking everything's okay. Well, maybe that could be an email. And once you start doing that, once you start sending personalized things to one individual person, then you start realizing you're saying the same thing every time, and that's where automation comes in. That's a different story, but if you are frightened of automation, and I know a lot of people are frightened of automation, you don't have to get into automating all this. You can do this all manually. Just manually go through your database and start saying, right, I am going to contact 10 people. That's a start. In the next week or in the next day or in the next afternoon, I'm going to contact 10 people, 5 people, whatever. But if you make your goals this, you say, like, in the next hour I'm going to phone 3 of those people. Well, maybe I don't want to. Phone is great, but I don't like it particularly. So I find text and the emails a little bit easier to swallow. Something that also I am doing, which I might have done for one of you guys, is Bonjoro, which is the video messaging, personalized video messaging. Again, not automated, not mass produced, personal, one-to-one. Hi Sandra, saw you a few weeks ago at the clinic, just catching up with you. Hope you got the letter. I wrote a letter to you and copied your GP in, and I hope you have got the quote and all the information you need. If you need anything more from me, give me a ring, drop me an email, reply to this email if you like, and I'll be happy to help. Have a good day. Done. That's it. So this is the sort of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not talking about trying to market yourself and trying to increase your conversion rate by saying come on, book now and you're going to get a 50% discount. None of that stuff. It's all actually just looking after people and giving a better practice. But it's all if you focus on the things that you can do, the inputs, and don't worry about the outputs. Give yourself a pat on your back if you send 10 texts out or 10 emails out. Give yourself a pat on the back if you make a video and send it to a patient or a prospective patient. That is what you should be trying to do. Yes, you need to monitor the effects. Yes, you need to monitor to check to see if it's working and seeing what works, and if stuff works, do more of it. But the goal should not be the outcome, because you haven't got control over that, and the outcome might be brilliant. You might, by some weird twist of fate, get someone who says, yeah, I want to book for my 10,000 procedure, please, £10,000 procedure tomorrow. Or you might get no one says anything or does anything. That's fine. Your goal was not the outcome. You've done your goal. Now you might not do it again because you've been monitoring and looking at the results. So you might think, crikey, I'm not doing that again. That's fine. But you have achieved your goal and you have done what you set out to do. So you should be proud of yourself. So that's my message, basically. That's where you should be looking and pushing yourself to do things. By doing things, I mean writing stuff, emails, texts, saying stuff, podcasts, audio stuff, and videos, personalized videos. Yeah, writing, saying and videos. So those are the things that you should be doing, and those are the things you can control, and those are the things I suggest you might not be doing. I suggest you're not writing emails or texts or making videos for your patients, or audio clips or whatever. So I suggest that is something that you work on, and those should be your goals. If you say, I want more money, I want more conversion rate, I want to be busier, I want to have 5 new patients a week in my clinic, well, great, fantastic. Who doesn't want that? Great, move on. That's a dream. Yeah, it's not a goal. Goals cost, dreams are free. Is that the quote? There's a quote from Usain Bolt, something like that. Anyway, if goals are specific things that you can control, that you want to achieve. Otherwise it's just a dream. More money and all that stuff. I want to have Fridays off. Yeah, great, but how are you going to get there? What are you going to do to make that happen? Yeah, let's do this. Right. I'm going to go and see if I can make my forehead calm down, and I will be back here 6:12 next week on Thursday, and there is big movements going on. Not like that. All right, in the Steno Consulting world, the podcast might be moving to the app. Well, it is on the app, but I might be moving live onto the app if I can get it to work. And the marketing for doctors thing is a big thing as well, with the automated marketing for doctors. So, oil's the oyster. God knows what's going to happen to you now next week. Who knows? Anyway, stay safe. Don't go on the roads because it's with all that snow and it's raining now. But flipping heck, don't go out there. And I'll see you next week.